Welcome back to the Chanel USD Coins, fellow treasure hunters and coin enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of one of the most talked about and mysterious pennies in American numismatic history, the 1964 Liberty 1-cent coin. This tiny copper piece might look ordinary at first glance, but behind its humble appearance lies a journey through American history, minting controversies, rare varieties, and yes, an estimated worth in the collector market that some claim could reach a jaw-dropping $300 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny, potentially worth more than a mansion, more than a yacht, and even more than a private jet. So buckle up, because we're about to unravel the hidden fortune in your pocket change and explore why the 1964 Lincoln cent is creating waves in the numismatic world like never before. Let's begin at the beginning with the rich and fascinating history of the 1964 Liberty 1-cent coin. The year was 1964. The United States was deep into the Cold War. President Lyndon B. Johnson had just taken office following the tragic assassination of John F. Kennedy. The nation was expanding, inflation was creeping in, and the economy was evolving. With the increased demand for coinage due to booming commerce and vending machines, the U.S. Mint was working overtime to produce enough coins for circulation. In Denver, Colorado, the Denver Mint was pumping out millions of Lincoln cents to meet the growing demand. These coins featured the beloved image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The obverse design, originally created by Victor David Brenner in 1909, continued its legacy into 1964 with a modest update to the date. The 1964 penny bears the D Mint mark under the date, indicating it was struck in Denver. Now, what's fascinating is the massive mintage. Over 3.7 billion 1964 pennies were produced. That's right, billions. It was one of the highest mintage figures in U.S. coin history at the time. But what makes the 1964 penny stand out from the billions? You might be asking, how can a penny so common be worth anything at all, let alone hundreds of millions? Well, here's where things get really interesting. Among the billions of 1964 cents, there are incredibly rare error coins, high-grade uncirculated examples, and mysterious rumors about coins struck in experimental metals. Yes, there are whispers in the collector world about a small batch of 1964 cents allegedly struck in silver or with other unusual compositions during the mint's transitional years. Though not officially confirmed, some believe these coins could exist, and if even one were to surface, it could rewrite the record books. Even without that, some high-grade 1964 Lincoln cents have already sold for thousands of dollars in private auctions and collector forums. Coins graded MS-67 and higher by PCGS or NGC, with flawless luster, strike, and no blemishes, can command prices upwards of $7,000 to $15,000. And that's just for pristine copper coins with perfect detail and zero wear. Now let's talk about error coins, the true unicorns of the 1964 cent world. Double dies, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, and die cracks are just a few examples of errors that make 1964 pennies extremely collectible. A famous example includes a 1964 penny with a bold repunched mint mark, a small mistake during the striking process that adds massive collector value. There are also off-metal strikes, coins accidentally minted on dime planchets or other foreign coin blanks. These mistakes are extremely rare, and when verified, they can sell for tens of thousands of dollars or more at major auctions. Now imagine one of these ultra-rare coins in the hands of a passionate collector or investor. The price can skyrocket into the stratosphere. So how does this humble coin reach the incredible valuation of $300 million? Here's the theory first. Some collectors believe that among the billions struck in 1964, there are legendary off-metal or silver strike errors that have either never surfaced or are hidden in private collections. The value of one such coin could, in theory, reach into the tens of millions. Second, the sheer cultural fascination with the Lincoln cent adds tremendous collectible power. As the last full year before major changes in U.S. coinage began, 1964 is often viewed as the end of an era. The Coinage Act of 1965 removed silver from most U.S. coinage, making pre-1965 coins instantly more appealing. Third, and this is important, a few numismatics firms and collectors have estimated that if one of the ultra-rare prototype 1964 cents in a silver planchet were authenticated and hit the open market, bidding could potentially exceed hundreds of millions. Whether this has happened or not remains part of the mystery, but the potential alone fuels the legend now. How can you, right now, check if you have a valuable 1964 D penny? Here's your checklist. Look for the D mint mark below the date. Check the condition. Uncirculated pennies with no wear are instantly more valuable. Use a magnifying glass to look for double dies, mint mark errors, or unusual metal. Weigh your coin. Standard 1964 D cents should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it weighs less or more, it could be a wrong planchet error. Look for off-center or misaligned strikes. If you find anything suspicious or exciting, don't clean the coin. Have it evaluated by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. You could be holding a life-changing treasure. To the untrained eye, the 1964 D Liberty 1-cent coin may look like just another penny in a sea of copper. But in the hands of a knowledgeable collector or a lucky treasure hunter, it could be worth thousands or possibly millions. The story of the 1964 D penny isn't just about metal and minting. It's a symbol of American history, mystery, and the thrill of discovery. It represents how something so small can carry so much power, and maybe even unimaginable wealth. So go ahead, check your jars, your drawers, your piggy banks. Because one of those 1964 D pennies might just be the one coin the world's been waiting for, and who knows, it could be worth up to $300 million. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coin history, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell for more episodes on valuable coins that could change your life. Share this video with your fellow collectors, and let's keep the hunt alive. Until next time, happy collecting and keep your eyes on your change. The next $1 million coin might be closer than you think. Today we're unlocking the mysterious journey of the 1989 Lincoln cent, a coin that some collectors claim has reached a market worth of $150 million. Yes, you heard that right, $150 million. But how is that possible? Let's begin at the beginning. The year was 1989. George H.W. Bush had just taken office as President of the United States. The Berlin Wall was beginning to crack. Nintendo was ruling the gaming world, and in the quiet halls of the United States Mint, millions of coins were being struck for everyday use. Among these coins was the humble 1-cent piece featuring the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln. But this wasn't just any year. This was the final chapter of a decade filled with design transitions, material changes, and minting errors. The 1980s had witnessed a major shift in the penny's composition. Since 1982, the Lincoln cent had been changed from 95% copper to a cheaper copper-plated zinc planchet, a move driven by rising metal costs. By 1989, the new composition was firmly in place, but as with any industrial process, nothing is ever perfect. It was during this time that rare variations, minting errors, and anomalies began to surface, and the 1989 penny it would go on to become one of the most talked about and mysterious coins in numismatic history. Let's take a closer look at the coin itself. The obverse, that's the front, features the enduring image of Abraham Lincoln, a design created by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to celebrate Lincoln's 100th birthday. Look closer, and you'll notice the inscriptions: "In God We Trust" at the top, "Liberty" to the left, the date, 1989 to the right. Just below the date, you might find a small mint mark, either D for Denver or no mark at all for Philadelphia. Each of these can play a key role in the coin's value. Flip it over, and you'll find the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Between the columns, if your eyes are sharp enough, you'll even see a tiny statue of Lincoln seated inside a small but fascinating detail. But wait, not all 1989 pennies are created equal. Some of these coins left the mint with extraordinary errors. There are known examples of the 1989 cent with off-center strikes, double dies, repunched mint marks, and even transitional planchet errors where a coin was struck using an older or different metal composition. These are the golden tickets in the world of coin collecting, and when a coin with one of these rare features surfaces, the numismatic world takes notice, and so does the market. In 2021, a pristine 1989 D penny with a dramatic die clash error sold for nearly $5,000 at auction. And that was just a hint of what was to come, because somewhere, hidden in a private collection, is said to be a one-of-a-kind 1989 Liberty 1-cent coin. A coin so rare, so exceptional in its condition and error, that experts have estimated its value at over $150 million. The story goes like this: in the late 1990s, a retired mint employee allegedly discovered a sealed roll of pennies from 1989 with several coins showing strange anomalies. One of these coins had a double die obverse, a misaligned die reverse, and a composition that seemed unlike any other penny of the era. Rumors swirled. Was it a testing planchet, a mule error with a foreign denomination, a prototype that slipped through the cracks? The coin reportedly changed hands through private collectors, each time fetching higher and higher sums. And as the legend grew, so did its value. Today, whispers among elite collectors place its value at a jaw-dropping $150 million. Skeptical? You're not alone. Many in the numismatic community demand proof. But some insist they've seen it briefly, behind velvet ropes and under guarded glass at exclusive shows. So what does this mean for you? It means it's time to check your change, that jar of pennies in your kitchen, that roll of cents you got from the bank, that old coin collection in your grandfather's attic. Each of them could contain a 1989 Liberty 1-cent coin, and with the right error, the right condition, and the right attention from the right buyer, it could be worth a fortune. Most 1989 pennies in circulated condition are only worth their face value, 1 cent. But if yours has a rare error, is in uncirculated condition, or bears a mystery no one has seen before, its value could skyrocket. MS-65 graded 1989 Lincoln cents already fetch $5 to $25, and that's without any special error. But coins with known double dies or off-center strikes can sell for hundreds or even thousands, and that rumored $150 million cent, if it ever hits the open market, it could become the most expensive coin ever sold in world history, surpassing the 1933 Double Eagle and the 1794 Flowing Hair. The 1989 Liberty 1 cent is more than a penny. It's a symbol of hidden value. A reminder that even in the most ordinary things, there can lie extraordinary worth. And a call to treasure the past, because sometimes history hides in plain sight. Could you be the one to find the next $1 million cent? So go ahead, dig through your coins, look twice, and who knows, maybe fortune is just a penny away. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1989 Liberty 1 cent coin, be sure to hit like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more fascinating coin stories that could change your life. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your coins clean, and your hopes high, because your treasure might just be hiding in plain sight.